kindly could you let us know a bit about your background? How did you actually first get interested in the blockchain technology?
Well, the blockchain technology started when I first worked in the cybersecurity field for a period of time, and then that was where the blockchain started. And we're looking at 2017, 2018 when the courses and the curriculums for this field started coming out. And then I saw one program which was issued by the Oxford University, and yeah, and that's where the whole thing started.
I, Excellent. So the courses that you mentioned, the courses started coming out relating to blockchain technology. Where
Yeah.
were those? Were they in Morocco or were they like abroad?
No, the one that I've gone through, the first one is with Oxford University, Said
Ah, yeah,
Business School.
business center. Yeah,
And that was the first one that they done, and I was the only African guy in the group, and that was done in 2018. Since then, I got involved in conferences, and I wrote my ebook, which I have sent to you. It's called the Simplified Blockchain. It's mainly for non-technical minds and non-technical people that would like to know more about blockchain.
that's amazing. So yeah, the book. Sorry, I haven't had a look. I will definitely download that. I didn't realize you've sent it. Thank you for that. How is that something? Is it like a paid book normally? Who is it for? How do you distribute it normally?
Well, it mainly was for people that I interact with. It's not a paid book. It's something that I give as a gift to whoever wants to know about blockchain. There's nothing attached to it. I didn't produce it to make money of it, and mainly for
Sure.
educational purposes. And that's basically
Excellent.
my way of sharing what I have learned, and that's basically what happened. Mainly shared with people that really showed interest and want to know about blockchain and how to interact with blockchain. And then before we start discussion, I share that with them, and I give them some time.
Yeah, so they have a
Yes.
bit of context. That's really useful to know. The reason I was asking is because with the podcast notes that we upload on the internet, we can put your contact details, and obviously, people can contact you, and they can access the book if that would be beneficial to them as well. For our listeners, and even for a dummy like me, could you explain in simple terms what is blockchain?
Well, blockchain is normally it is simple. It is a simple. If it's not simple, then it's not blocks. Blockchain is a simple thing. It's been with us since day one of humanity, which is bookkeeping.
So blockchain is like a ledger of any transaction that may be going on between two or more people, um, which, as you say, has been around since humans started doing trade. Um, but the beauty of the blockchain is that obviously, first of all, as I understand it, that it's live. So it's constantly being updated and also it's decentralized. Is that right?
That's basically what blockchain is, and it's credible. And you can connect with people in China. We can connect with people in America, in wherever. But you know that connection is reliable, it's not corrupt, and it's efficient, and time is basically. That's basically what blockchain is. Makes it reliable because it's not in the hand of one entity, and that entity has the ability to change the information. Where when it's decentralized, it's no way that you can change because the same copy is on a different platform. What we call nodes. It's like different nodes.
So we're talking about the blockchain technology being decentralized, and actually that leads me up to, so blockchain, is blockchain a single entity? Is it a technology? What is it? When people talk about blockchain, what are they actually talking about?
It is a technology that has two sides of it. It could be permissioned, and it could be open. Whatever the entity or the person or the institution or the company or government decide to do I want with permission, and there are conditions that, if there is permission into it, and there's an open one where everybody and anyone can go and participate in there. Therefore, this is where the decision has to be made depends on the use case.
Oh, I see. So does that also mean then that not every blockchain is going to be decentralized because it depends on, so for example, if a bank is using blockchain technology, they might not want everyone to see from a privacy point of view where the who's paying who and what payment went where. Is that right?
Well, it could be decentralized within the network. Now, decentralized doesn't mean that it cannot be shared. It can be shared within the network. Or you say, okay, this is the network that's able to be shared, decentralized within the network, or decentralized in general form, which is anyone and anybody and everywhere it can be accessible. Therefore, this is the two things that people need to understand. Decentralized doesn't mean it's always open. It can be decentralized within a community, within an ecosystem, or decentralized where you add out of the ecosystem. Therefore, other application can be part of it where you add the nodes, and then because decentralized with a smart contract. I don't know if you heard about the smart contract that allow the law and gives the governs the law of the network of
Yes.
how it should be managed and governed, the network in general, because they're allowed, some people are allowed to write, some people are allowed to read, some people are allowed to write and read, some people, therefore there's always that management within the laws. That's why it's so interesting and so um, fabulous where the law it's within the ecosystem. It's not, you're not giving the law to humans to decide when and how. It's within the agreed laws of the ecosystem. Okay, do we want these people to have access? Do we want everybody to have access? Do we have to limit access? Do we want to only give read or write or whatever? Each entity will have a node, and that node has a specific function to play within the ecosystem.
That makes sense. So the risk of human interference, human error is also eliminated because everything is controlled completely by the protocol.
That's correct.
Also, so for me, the first time I heard about blockchain technology, and I think it might be the case for many of our listeners, was when first people started talking about crypto and bitcoins and things like that. But blockchain has been around
Sorry,
before
can't hear you.
Bitcoin,
I
yes?
didn't hear what you said.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying. So personally, the first time I ever heard about the blockchain, and this might be the case for many of our listeners as well, is we heard about the blockchain when we first heard about Bitcoin, and that's how we knew that there's something called the blockchain,
Yeah.
which is the underlying technology for Bitcoins.
Yeah,
But blockchain has been around since like before Bitcoin, yes?
that's correct. It's
Yeah.
from the 80s already, where the first
Oh wow, I did
blockchain,
not know that.
yeah, the first blockchain ecosystem has been created. It just wasn't ready to be fully, what they call proved. It took quite a time for it to be solid. And yes, you know that the banks used it first within transacting within each other on the international level, but also it was centralized. They chose to have a centralized function within each company, within each bank. Therefore, it only came, as you said, to be known when the Bitcoin came out. And even though with the Bitcoin, it's just a use case, it's not really the
Yes.
blockchain technology, it's just one drop in the ocean.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So was Bitcoin the first decentralized app for blockchain?
Well, the first approved decentralized app. It's the first that made
Interesting.
it to the surface. Um,
Interesting.
but there are others that never made it because they couldn't really find a way to get it out, you know, to be able to scale it. But Bitcoin, because it came in the right time, it came in the right hand, therefore it came out and it did what it did. But it's not the use case that the humanity required now. So it's not that.
Hmm. Interesting. And decentralized apps, um, how do they actually use blockchain? Um, do you have like, can you provide us with maybe some real life examples of how it's being used around the world currently in different use cases?
Well, decentralized apps, you have seen what I mean, the greatest example is UAE. I mean, UAE's managed to create a use case for passports control, for taxes, and for certain elements of of social interaction. Therefore, that's basically where blockchain will benefit humanity, and when it's used to give a better service, an efficient service, and a non-corrupt mechanism within the administration. Therefore, what UAE has done is basically created the ID use case, and wherever basically applies for visas and so the information is in a network, and it's easily shared between the concerned parties, which is first the banks, and secondly the authorities, the tax, the police, the hotels, anything to do with tourism and tourists within the country or the region. Therefore, that's basically makes it easy for the information to be accessible without deleting it or adding um, any unnecessary information or incorrect information. That's working now in the UAE as we speak.
Well, that's really interesting. I did not even hear about that. So is that fully functional now?
Very fully functional, and believe me, UAE is the first country in the world to fully utilize blockchain and efficiently utilize blockchain properly.